If you have noticed that your life has started to become more dull or meaningless, if you feel like you're just moving through each and every single day, but you do not have a clear purpose, you do not have a clear reason as to why you're doing most of the things that you're doing, then there is something out there that you will have to change about your life. Whether that might be a certain habit, whether you have to actually do more of it, whether you actually have to get rid of it. Maybe that might be a certain person, some certain people. Maybe that might just be you. That might be your own desires and your own priorities in life. There are so many things which could actually bring this mundane reality into your life, and you have to figure out exactly what that is and get rid of it. But you must first accept and understand the fact that your life might have actually become mundane. Your life might have actually become what you have feared for so long, a mundane existence. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Throughout the past few days, this is exactly what I feel like has happened to me. I've gone through school, I've gone through all my exercise routines, I've gone through all the time that I've had at home with my family for several days, and I've just felt nothing but emptiness inside of me. Nothing but this dull numbness, some pain added into it, some desire to get away from what is currently happening, but not really knowing what is happening and why it is happening. I have realized that I spend way too much time obsessing about whether I'm gonna find that certain girl that I want to be with and get in a relationship with. I don't want to sound like I'm some alpha male or something, that doesn't care about girls, bro. I care. Having a relationship, having love, finding love in my life has been one of my main priorities. Even when I lied about it, saying that it wasn't, it's been something that I couldn't imagine my life without. Even though I have been living without it for such a long time, like I could just not imagine having this same existence for the rest of my life. And because of my obsession with love, I've ended up messing up some certain times when I could have been with some certain girls that I liked. And because in that very short time between me meeting that girl, talking to her, and then messing up what has been happening, I raised my expectations so damn high, like I could barely sleep at night. I would just go to sleep and just keep imagining and keep making up all of these thoughts in my head about that girl, about what we would do together, about how nice it would be. I would be building up these high towers of expectations. And then just a few days later, for some reason, we just wouldn't talk anymore. For some reason, she would suddenly not like me anymore. Like all these kinds of weird things, right? And then all of those towers of expectations, all that dopamine building up in my mind, getting ready to chase and actually achieve this life that I set out for myself, which I felt was so close that I could almost grab it. And then it just slips away like that. And then my dopamine crashes, and all these towers of expectations that are hundreds of meters high in my mind crumble to the ground. My dopamine goes below baseline. I feel absolutely miserable about myself. And this is what has happened in the past few days for me. There's an idea that I think anyone who has ever experienced a mundane life can actually relate to. And that is the fact that a mundane life is just another synonym for slow torture. If you have lived a mundane existence where you feel like every single day goes on without any kind of meaning, without any kind of extra expectations, without having something to look forward to, then it just feels like slow torture, doesn't it? For me, it sure felt like that when I talked to this girl for several days, and I built all of these towers of expectations in my mind. I was so happy. And then boom, it just goes away like that. Yeah, she doesn't like me anymore for some reason. We don't talk anymore. All of these towers of expectations have crumbled. I am at my lowest point emotionally right now. I'm living for life. I have to go to school. I have to do all of these things. I have to do my sports activities. I have to come back home and be with my family. And throughout all of these things, I just feel so damn miserable. I feel like everything that I'm doing just doesn't have a meaning. I feel like all of this time that I've spent just trying to be a better man, be a better person, so that consequentially, in the end, I could find that woman to be with. Because of this one fail that I had in my life with this girl, I just felt like these things didn't matter anymore. And so for these few days in which I had to deal with this emotional low point in my life, where my dopamine had just gone below baseline after such a high rise, when again, I had trouble sleeping at night, my mind was just consistently working. It was like smoke was coming out of my ears, bro. It was like night, I had to go to sleep and everything, but my brain would just be constantly working. And then the dopamine crash came, and then everything felt absolutely miserable. And so I understand that there will be times when you will feel absolutely dull and meaningless in your life. There will be certain circumstances in which this will happen. Maybe it will be a girl like it was for me. Maybe it will be something else. Maybe it will be an expectations that you set out for your career. Maybe for your friends. Maybe whatever it might be. We have to push beyond this mundane period that follows after all of these crashes that we have in our lives, all of these failures that we experience. Because if we just keep indulging in that very numbing experience of just sitting on your ass and doing nothing, or just doing whatever activities you had planned for the day without any kind of meaning, without any kind of emotion, then you will just become a miserable human being, and you know it. Maybe you feel like that miserable human being right now, like I do. Or maybe you have felt miserable in the past and you know how it feels. By living this mundane life, by letting that numbness control you, you are slowly but surely killing yourself. This is your path to imminent death in all senses of your life. So that means that most of your senses, most of what you have built within you will die. You will just become that hollow husk of the person that you once were. And that is no way to live, man. Because all of the people who have ended up becoming these shells, these husks, you know what happens to them, man. You know what paths in life they end up on. We're not like those people, are we? We're better than that. We're men who are trying to live better lives. We are young men who are trying to dedicate themselves to a better life, to a better existence. Even if it might be hard. Even if it means that we will have to sacrifice a lot of things. Even if it means that we will have to face pain on a daily basis, whatever it might be. This is such a much better alternative to living that mundane, numb existence, which will just turn you into that hollow shell, which will just crack one day, which one day will just crumble to the ground completely, and then you'll be done. It is time for you to end this vicious cycle. It is time for you to face your pain, your fears, your failures head on. Face the things in your life which you feel are making you suffer on a mental and maybe even physical level. Face them head on. Face those failures that you have made over the past few years of your life that you haven't quite gone past. Look at them straight in the damn eye and tell them, you know what? Although this has happened, this is not me anymore. I have to move forward. I have to move past this. The person who made that mistake a few days ago, the person who made that mistake an hour ago, the person who did all of those horrible things in the past, that is not me anymore. I have learned from my mistakes and I will move forward and I will do better. You have to change your identity. You have to change the way that you see yourself, or else just fall in this trap of self-blame, of misery. You have to do what must be done. It will be hard, I know, but this is the only way forward and you know it. God knows it. So yeah, man, if you have gained any value from this video, then why not subscribe to this channel where I make self-improvement videos about things that I experienced myself, that I've learned about over the past 2 years of my self-improvement journey. You can like this video, you can share this video around with people who you think will be able to gain some value from this as well. If you want to join my self-improvement Discord server, there will be a link to that in the description of this video. I've also started free self-improvement one-to-one coaching. So if you want to go on a one-to-one coaching call where we talk about self-improvement tips and advice, and anything else self-improvement related, then you can do that by clicking the Calendly link in the description of this video. So yeah, man. Do not let this mundane existence just slowly drive you to the ground, man. Face your pain, face your failures, face them head on, and live a better life. Good luck, man. I'll see you next time.